Trade rumors are escalating. A new report reveals a blockbuster trade. We get into exactly what that is in this edition of Ducks Digest. Hey, it's Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 5% of you, the ones who are watching these videos, who have already hit the sub button. But 94% of you have not subscribed yet. We are the newest Anaheim Ducks YouTube channel. Myself, Mike Nelson, bringing you everyday Anaheim Ducks content. Been a Ducks fan since 2003, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and help out a fellow Anaheim Ducks fan. We're the best fan base in California. But let's get right into the story. As we know, Jason Robertson has been the subject of trade rumors as of late. You look up Jason Robertson on Google and anywhere, basically they keep linking Robertson to the Ducks, which is great news because Jason Robertson would be an absolute game changer for the Ducks, right? This would be a monumental trade, a blockbuster trade if it were to happen for the Anaheim Ducks, because this would be, it would change everything. The Ducks would once again become a playoff lock. Just having Robertson would make this team a playoff lock to make the playoffs next season. So the Ducks, would love to make a trade like that to try to get Jason Robertson. But let's get right into the story. Of course, Stars Jason Robertson trade rumors gets an update. This is an article that was posted today on Athlon Sports. According to NHL reporter Jeff Merrick, it seems that the Stars are going to make a decision on Robertson sooner rather than later. So it looks like we're going to get some news. Something's going to happen with Robertson sooner rather than later, which is according to what the report from Jeff Merrick is. Merrick has been one of the more plugged-in people on the Robertson news, and it seems that something is coming down the pipeline. It seems like something is going to be coming out very soon when it comes to Jason Robertson. If the Stars do trade Jason Robertson, he has been linked with the Anaheim Ducks in the past. Anaheim could offer the Stars a few quality prospects, and it would be something the Ducks would like. It was something that Dallas would likely consider. I would say, yeah, the Ducks have the prospects. They got the assets to make a trade like this. There is no doubt about it. I mean, the Dallas Stars are deciding that they're not going to re-sign Jason Robertson. They're not going to give this guy a long-term contract. There's no other place to trade him than to Anaheim, right? I mean, the Anaheim Ducks have the capital. They have the prospects that the Stars don't have, right? And that's why, the Ducks are a likely and, very viable trade option, a trade destination for Jason Robertson, right? Because this is what it comes down to when you're making a trade for a star player like this. What kind of prospects does that said team have? And the Ducks have the prospects, they have the players, they have the young core players. Sure, you might have to break up the young core if you make this trade, but in the end, it will be worth it, right? Getting Jason Robertson would be, like I said, completely change everything for this franchise. Robertson is one of the better young players around the league, but Dallas is skeptical of paying him for some reason. Last season, he scored 35 goals and had 45 assists for the Stars. An absolutely extraordinary season for Jason Robertson. This guy, like I said, is a true star. This guy is the real deal. If Dallas moves on for Robertson, they could get a nice haul for his services. But it all remains to be seen. We should know more concrete details soon. This is, of course, big news to say the least. The Ducks once again involved in the trade rumors for Jason Robertson. What do you think? Do you think Jason Robertson is, like I'm saying, a game changer? Does he make a big difference on this team? Or do you think the Ducks still need to make more moves in order to be a playoff team? Does getting Jason Robertson alone with the pieces that they already have, especially, with adding Chris Kreider and Peter Mrazek, and also Mikael Granlund this offseason, adding these players in this offseason, does that make the Ducks, along with Jason Robertson, a playoff lock, or do you think they need to get more? Personally, I think with the additions that they have already made, adding Jason Robertson only sweetens the deal. It makes this team a real, possibility to make the playoffs. I really think it really changes everything. Right now, if they don't get Robertson, you're just going to have to hope that some of these young guys, have another, they could step up. And one of these guys that really we have to have, if we don't get Jason Robertson, the Ducks really need to hold on to Mason McTavish, right? I mean, that is a given. If the Ducks don't get Jason Robertson. If the Dallas Stars decide they're going to re-sign Jason Robertson, or the Ducks and Stars just can't come to an agreement, the Stars trade Robertson somewhere else, then the Ducks really need to re-sign Mason McTavish, right? And today we got an article also on McTavish. 4 teams linked to McTavish. Elliot Friedman says that he'd be shocked if McTavish gets a long-term deal done at a big number, while David Pagnotta mentioned that McTavish isn't pleased as his role may continue to diminish. This is due to the Mikael Granlund being signed for 3 years, and of course Roger McQueen likely to be a top 6 role at center in the future, right? This guy is a future center for the Ducks. Pagnotta has linked 4 teams to McTavish because of these frustrations. Now, a couple of the teams that Pagnotta listed were the Calgary Flames and the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't think McTavish is going to the Flyers. The Ducks and Flyers have already made a lot of trades already. I don't think they're going to make another trade. So I'm gonna write the Flyers off. And the other team that I'm also going to write off is the Calgary Flames. I don't think the Ducks are going to trade McTavish to the Calgary Flames, basically an in-division rival. I don't think it's happening. But the other 2 teams that he listed, I think, are possibilities, right? These are other possibilities that I think are possibilities. Montreal Canadiens are still looking for their second-line center in place of course, Kirby Dach or Alex Newhook. And that is a possibility for McTavish right there. The Montreal Canadiens, I think, are a real possibility as a team that the Ducks could trade Mason McTavish to, right? The Canadiens could get McTavish. It's an East Coast team, and they also have their first and second round picks in next year's draft. So I'm sure the Ducks would love to have more draft picks next year. So that is a possibility. Buffalo Sabres. We know the Sabres are an absolute dumpster fire. They are a dumpster fire. They are worse than the Ducks in terms of their future, and they would love to have a player like McTavish. So those 2 teams, I'm going to say, are possibilities. But really, like I've said this before, I don't know what everybody thinks out there. The Ducks got to keep Mason McTavish. I mean, come on. Mason McTavish, like I said, has shown signs of greatness. This guy has size. He could score. He's big. He's tough. It's just these kind of players just don't come around that often. And I really think the Ducks have to find a way to keep McTavish. I really think they're going to have to pay this guy. He didn't go to arbitration. They're going to have to pay him, right? I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some offer sheets, in the next coming days that we're going to be talking about. And the Ducks are going to have to match those offers, and they're going to have to sign him. As a restricted free agent, the Ducks have that possibility of matching the offer and, signing McTavish. So I think the Ducks, are going to have to be aggressive here. And I think it's a must, right? They have to keep McTavish. I think this is no doubt about it. I'm going to be very disappointed the Ducks don't keep Mason McTavish. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Ducks. Woo!